Hi, I'm Jenna, an upholsterer and designer, and today's Thrift Flip is upgrading the most basic dresser ever. I scored this blob boy from an office park that was closing its doors. And by the looks of it, it's pretty gosh darn new, except it's, missing a few things here and there. But overall, it's in great shape, especially for an MDF dresser, which is made completely out of particle board. All right, so here's my design plan for this dresser. We're gonna use 1/2" half round that's bendable to create a 1970s inspired super graphic pattern across the front. A lot like the shirt you see I'm wearing right here. And then we're going to prime, paint, and then last but not least, we're gonna change out these blob plastic handles for some beautiful brass ones. Let's get started with this transformation. For the first step, we're going to nail in place the 1/2" half round to create the super graphic. Super graphics were very popular in the 50s and 60s. They were typically created as wall murals, but today we're gonna use this 1/2" half round that's bendable and create a super graphic on this basic dresser. You basically want to get an idea of the pattern you're going to create. It's like playing with noodles. And then we're just going to start nailing it in place. I'm going to use this bowl I have right here to kind of get the bendable half round situated where you visually like it. Here goes nothing. If you don't have a nail pen gun, you could use just a regular hammer and nails. I wouldn't maybe recommend it just because it'll be hard to hide the nail head, but you definitely, there's more than one way to do it. There's really no wrong way to do this. Just have fun with it. And yes, I know that I'm blocking the drawers right now, but we're gonna come back and we're gonna slice at all the different openings, so don't worry. Now here comes the really easy part. You're just gonna follow the pattern you've made with as many of the 1/2" half round as you want. All right, now that that's all stapled into place, time to cut at the seams. I chose a jigsaw blade just because I can cut straight and quickly. You could use a handsaw if you wanted, but this is definitely the best route to go. As you cut the half rounds, don't be surprised if it moves a little bit, so you might need to line back up some of the super graphic into place and just add a few extra nails. Always make sure when you're using your nail gun that your digits are out of the way of where the nail is going into the wood. Now that we got all the drawer seams cut, it's time to prime. Moved the dresser outside so we can prime it. We're going to take off the plastic handles, tape off each drawer, and then get to work. We're removing each one of the drawer handles because we're actually going to replace these with brass ones. And you don't want to spray around with the primer because it will leave dry marks. Now that we've got all the drawer pulls off of the drawer, it's time to prime. Now that I've got my paint sprayer all set up and into place, we are going to prime the entire dresser with a product that's very dear to my heart. Zinsser's. It's an all-surface primer. It makes the surface absolutely perfect for paint. And the reason I like to spray the primer versus rolling it, not only because in the essence of time, paint sprayer is also really great to get into all these little nooks and crannies. And we're going to go up with the paint sprayer, not down, to try to avoid drips. See how easy that was? This is exactly why a paint sprayer is a way to go with primer. Now that I've got the primer all evenly applied, we're gonna leave it and allow it to dry, and then it'll be time to paint. All right, the primer is dry to the touch, nice and smooth. So we are going to paint it a bright, beautiful hue. Now I'm gonna go with a paint sprayer for this particular project. You could hand roll it if it was going in a high traffic area, but we're gonna be styling this one more as a buffet, so we're just gonna use a paint sprayer and get a nice high-end sprayed finish. Last but not least, the top. All right, gonna give it a good once over to make sure I have all of the surfaces covered evenly with paint. And now we're just gonna let the paint dry. If you like this project and want to see more, give it a thumbs up and follow HGTV.